Lads, today we're talking a little bit about something that is not ideal by any means for Caitlin Clark for the All-Star Game. The Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark is probably going to need a hardship player for the All-Star Game because multiple of her...
Clark was made for moments like this. When challenges come, she doesn't back down, she takes them head on and shows what she's made of. The All-Star Game was meant to be her big moment next to MVP star A'ja Wilson, a major part of her team's title hopes. But now with Wilson out due to injury, all eyes are on Clark. And if the past tells us anything, it's that she shines the brightest when the pressure is at its peak.
A'ja Wilson, man, she looked like she might not actually make it to the All-Star Game, man. Have that hurt, injured wrist. And I see it in the cast, man, right over here in the corner. If y'all can see that, I know it's a tad bit.
Fans everywhere were excited to finally see Caitlin Clark and A'ja Wilson team UPA duo that could have changed All-Star history. The hype was real and the energy was off the charts. But setbacks aren't new to Clark. She's dealt with doubters, tough opponents, and roadblocks her whole career. And every time she has answered with toughness, leadership, and game-changing performances that leave crowds in awe.
Satu. Either way, A'ja Wilson is currently injured. Yes, A'ja Wilson is currently injured, which is not good, and it does not seem great. They say she has a sprained wrist with no timetable to return, and that means she's probably out for the All-Star Game. That means she's probably out. So it's the rookies. It's the rookies. Like, it is Caitlin Clark and the rookies versus...
The injury happened during the Aces' 87-78 loss to the New York Liberty, and it was one of those falls that makes you wince just watching. A'ja Wilson drove to the basket against Leonie Febic, got fouled, and came down hard on her right wrist. The entire Aces bench rushed over like she was the last slice of pizza at a college dorm party. True to her champion mentality, she tried to tough it out, sank her free throws, played a few more possessions, but then reality hit. She was done for the...
All right, so yeah, I ended up seeing this yesterday where she actually had this cast on her wrist. And I remember Angel Reese wearing this as well. She was out for a good minute after hurting her wrist. So I don't think A'ja Wilson will be made.
Now here's where things get interesting. The MRI revealed it's a sprain, not a fracture. Good news in the it could be worse department. But even a sprain is no small thing, especially for a player who already missed 3 games earlier this season under concussion protocol. For A'ja Wilson, this season is starting to feel more like a medical drama. And with her out, Team Clark is feeling the impact.
After A'ja Wilson's fall and wrist injury the other night, I was super nervous that it was going to be something more serious. It really looked bad, especially the way she landed. I've had that fracture from a similar fall, and my wrist immediately started hurting. She did have an MRI yesterday. She posted this: "Welp, nothing wakes you up like the sound of an MRI machine, but just want to say thank you for the prayers, New York Liberty. Thank you so much for the quick help and privacy. Truly appreciate it. Natasha Cloud was a real winner for that. Prayers to my squad. Thank you for preventing my crash out. God has a plan that I'll never question. We're going to be all right." Which, the God has a plan I'll never question. Every time someone posts that, I get a little nervous because it makes me feel like they're saying God has a plan, which means I'm not going to play. And I was like, oh.
Coach Becky Hammon is trying to stay calm, saying they'll let the injury heal properly the first time so it doesn't linger all season. Smart move, but here's the problem. The All-Star Game is on July 19th, and a grade 1 sprain usually takes 1 to 3 weeks to heal. The timing just doesn't add up for Team Clark. And you can bet Caitlin is already working on backup plans faster than a GPS rerouting after a wrong turn.
So now it's being reported that her wrist is not broken, it's just a sprain. So we'll probably see her pretty soon, after she takes some time to heal and rest. So I'm just so glad it's not broken. This is such good news. She's not going to play tonight in tonight's game between the Aces and the Mystics. So, but give her some time to heal up and we'll see her soon. I'm just so glad she's not broken. This is the best news ever.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe because it gets even better. This isn't just any All-Star Game setback. It's happening right in the middle of one of the most hyped rivalries in women's basketball history, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Ever since that 2023 NCAA championship game when Reese hit Clark with the "you can't see me" gesture, the tension has been real. The media tried to sell them as equals 2 stars on the same level. But reality has a way of cutting through the noise. Clark is the captain of Team Clark, leading her squad in Indianapolis. Angel Reese, she's not even starting for Team Collier. Let that sink in. The so-called rival won't even be in the starting lineup when the lights go up.
Angel Reese, girl, I'm curious, where are your followers at? Just in case you guys aren't aware, because Angel Reese and all her fans want to tell us all the time, you know, she's just as important with the growth of women's basketball because of all of the followers and all of the people who care about Angel Reese and want to get to know her. She's got 4.9 million followers on Instagram and she's doing really well on TikTok. But we all know that the 2025 All-Star Starters lineup dropped and Angel Reese has nowhere.
And speaking of Team Collier, let's talk about how that draft really went down. Nafisa Collier didn't just pick Angel Reese, she practically trolled her. When asked about the selection, Collier said she needed rebounds, so she picked the player known for cleaning up her own misses. The shade was so thick you could cut it with a knife. This is a woman who co-founded Unrivaled and has been dominating the league all season, yet when it came to Angel Reese, her message was clear. Yeah, I'll take the rebounder.
Here. All right, B. If Gabby Williams is off the board, who are you going with?
Okay. I feel like I'm going to get into the post players.
Let's do it.
We need some rebounding. I'm going to go with Me Bounds Angel. We need some rebounding on our team.
Angel Reese off the board here to Team Collier. Task is getting those boards here in Indianapolis.
But here's the kicker. This is where Caitlin Clark proved she's not just a basketball player, she's a CEO in sneakers. She didn't just play in the All-Star Game, she rewrote the rules. When asked about trades, most captains might think about swapping players. Not Clark. She stared straight into the camera and said, I don't know if this is in the rules. And I don't really care, but we're trading coaches. Just like that, Cheryl Reeve, the Minnesota Lynx coach originally assigned to Team Clark, got shipped to Team Collier faster than a bad Uber driver gets one-starred. Clark wanted Sandy Brondello, the Liberty coach who actually knows how to win championships, not someone who spent time criticizing her impact on the league. This wasn't just a coaching switch, it was a boss-level power move that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Sorry ESPN, if that's not in the rules, we just made it one, Clark said, with the swagger of someone who knows she runs the league. And the league. They didn't stop her. They couldn't. Because when you're Caitlin Clark, when you're the reason arenas sell out, when fans pay $670 to see you play in the middle of Iowa, you don't follow the rules. You make them.
And the rules, I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. He's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it.
Ooh.
It's going to be amazing. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule.
Now.
So, Sandy Brondello, come on over.
Whoa!
Let's get to it. You can coach.
Sandy Brondello's reaction to the trade was priceless. Her teenage son texted her, Mom, you got traded, and she thought the whole thing was awesome. That's exactly the kind of energy Caitlin Clark wants on her squad. Positive, focused, championship-minded. No drama. No media debates. Just basketball excellence. Now with Aya Wilson's status up in the air, Team Clark faces a tough decision. Replace her with another star, shift the game plan, or stay the course. But if you know anything about Caitlin Clark, you know panic isn't part of her DNA. This is the same player who led Iowa to back-to-back Final Fours, shattered scoring records, and turned women's basketball into must-see TV. And even without Wilson, Clark's roster is stacked. She's got Aaliyah Boston, her fever teammate and defensive rock. Sabrina Ionescu brings elite shooting and top-tier basketball IQ. Satu Sabali adds international experience and versatility. Kelsey Mitchell delivers clutch scoring and three-point firepower. And Gabby Williams brings relentless defense and hustle. This team isn't just talented, it's built on chemistry, trust, and respect.
Coach, you may have been involved in the first ever coach trade of any All-Star game ever. Just want to get your thoughts on that in your mind. First for you, Leo.
They announced it?
Yeah.
That you got traded?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go look at all that.
Traded.
I have no idea what the teams are.
Second time in history now. Geez, as a player. And I got traded, yes. My son hit me up after he goes, I've created history. This is awesome. I got traded as a coach. But look, I get to coach with Sabrina. I'm on Caitlin Clark's in Indianapolis. I mean, what a great show. So we'll go out there and have some fun.
Let's be real, losing Aya Wilson is like losing Batman from the Justice League. Sure, you can still save the world, but it's going to be a whole lot harder. Wilson isn't just a stat sheet stuffer, though. Her 20.7 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game say plenty. She's a force of nature, a basketball hurricane who leaves nothing standing. Without her, Team Clark has to regroup, redefine themselves, and find a new way to dominate. And here's the irony: while Clark deals with the loss of her superstar, Angel Reese is over on Team Collier talking about how they've got the #1 crash out on their side. Crash out is that what we're calling players who can't even crack the All-Star starting lineup now.
Great. Your followers care about you and love you so much and want to support you, but when it's time for them to show up and vote you in, where their vote, the number of followers that you have on social media, that's going to have an impact on you becoming a starting lineup, on you becoming part of the starting lineup, they're nowhere to be found. So when we hear Angel Reese's famous line that she loves to remind us all,
yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
so it just begs to question, Angel Reese, this was the time for your followers to come and show up for you and prove to everybody that, yeah, your social media following, that has some sort of relevance to the...
Angel Reese is putting up solid numbers: 13.3 points and 12.8 rebounds per game, but let's not confuse rebounding with leading a team to victory. And this is where the so-called rivalry gets exposed. For months, the media pushed the narrative that Clark and Reese were equals, that their college clash would carry over into a WNBA showdown. But the facts tell a different story. Clark is a captain leading her own all-star team. Reese is a reserve hoping for minutes. Clark rewrote the All-Star Game rules live on national TV. Reese is posting cryptic tweets about being stacked on a team she won't even start for. The truth: this rivalry was never real. It was manufactured by media outlets hungry for drama and desperate for headlines. Instead of celebrating two unique talents, they tried to pit them against each other. But Clark didn't play along. She transcended the noise. She's not caught up in the drama, she's focused on dominance. While others play checkers, Clark's playing chess. Now with the All-Star Game approaching and Aya Wilson sidelined, the pressure's on. Will Team Clark find the right replacement? Can they adapt their strategy? More importantly, can they prove that true leadership and championship mentality matter more than just star power?
Somebody has to tell the truth because everybody's afraid to do it. They make up fake stats and stupid historical. Oh, it's the first time somebody ever had this for Angel Reese all day, but they don't tell her the truth. Angel Reese is the problem in Chicago Sky. And I've been telling you this since last year. You're not going to win a championship the way that they're playing right now. I don't care if they have Nafisa on the team, Breonna Stewart, or even Aja on the team. If you play your offense through Angel Reese, you're never going to win a championship.
If history tells us anything, it's this: don't bet against Caitlin Clark. This is the same player who sold out arenas in Iowa, who had fans on their feet before tip-off, who turned 30-foot three-pointers into pure basketball poetry. The All-Star Game on July 19th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse was supposed to be a celebration, a moment where Wilson and Clark finally shared the court as teammates. Instead, it's become something bigger. A test of Clark's leadership. A challenge to her ability to rally her squad and rise above adversity. In many ways, it's the perfect metaphor for her entire career, turning what looks like a setback into the ultimate setup for greatness.
And now, in my opinion, I feel like if she's not going to be able to play, I think the next player would probably be Stevens. All right. I think they should go ahead and find a way to get Stevens. As I try to fix this really quick, let me fix this for y'all. Now, if we look at Stevens, man, she averaged 14.4 points, 8.6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.4 in blocks, shooting 50% from the field and 37 from the three, and also shooting